guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Victoria, and today I did this super vampy fall look. I did a halo eye with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, and I've talked about this before in a makeup tutorial, how much I love this new formulation. This is the one you can get at like Marshall's or TJ Maxx. The ones that Sephora used to have were the old formula. This one is new, and you can tell because the ingredients are completely different and the back of the box is different as well. So you can just go online and compare pictures and make sure you're getting the one with the new formulation. And it's much more similar to the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So that's how you'll know. You can compare the ingredients and you'll see they're a lot more similar. And these palettes are just day and night. This one works heaps better. It's gorgeous. I used several colors to create this look, and you can see they blended seamlessly. They're actually showing up. It's just amazing. I'm in love with this palette. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial, and until next time, bye.
Alright, to start, we're going to prime the skin with the Almay Smart Shade CC Luminous Primer. This is a super hydrating, gorgeous luminous primer. It's very similar to the L'Oreal Lumi Primer, except not as watery, and it doesn't break you out. And then I just put a little bit of MAC Fix Plus on top to hydrate the skin as well, and I like to rub it in because it helps hydrate the eyelids and really soak into the skin, opposed to just mixing with foundation. So I like to rub it into my skin first before applying the foundation. And I'm just using the Too Faced Peachy Matte Comfort Foundation, and I like to apply the majority of the product on my cheeks, and then when I don't have a lot left on my brush, I go over the chin and the nose and between the eyebrows. And I like to do this because then there won't be a ton of product in those areas, which then you won't get like laugh lines or creasing around the nose or creasing in between the eyebrows. That's literally pretty much the only way to avoid all those creases, is to just not apply a ton of product in those areas. Then I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm blending this out with just a Sephora brand brush. I think this is called the Contour Brush, and this concealer literally blends out so easily. I love blending out my concealer with the brush because it literally is so fast. I think it's heaps faster than a beauty blender. You just need to make sure not to apply too much, or else it will look super cakey and you'll have like way too much concealer on. You also get more coverage when you use a brush, so I just love that because it's not pulling any product away from your face. It's keeping it all on there. And then I'm just setting my under eyes with the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. And I'm just going to also hit my head and everywhere that I put concealer just to set it so it doesn't crease any. Then we are going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. I'm taking the shade Dawn, which is just a nice neutral transition shade, and I'm laying that down just as a base to start off this eyeshadow look. It's a very just simple neutral color. Next, we are going in with Roxy, which is a lot warmer, and it's almost just kind of like a pinky orange shade. You might be intimidated looking at this in the pan and think, oh my gosh, that's going to look like clown makeup on me, but it's really not, I promise. This is going to be covered up by the other shadows we put on top of it, and it makes just this gorgeous base for like all the rest of the warm shadows to just pop against. I know it looks crazy when you first put it on, but don't be intimidated. It's really quite a wearable shade. You just need to get in there and use it. I think anybody can use this. You can be young, you can be mature, anything. Then I'm going in with the shade All Star, which is like a burgundy shade. And I'm starting this out as a halo eye. So I'm going to only apply the majority of this shade on the outer corner and the inner corner. And I don't have very big lids, so I'm going to pretty much cover the entire lid and just leave a tiny gap, but mostly focusing in on the inner corner and outer corner on both sides. And then I connect it in the crease. So I'm going to run the color throughout the entire crease and then just leave a little bit blank right in the center of the eyelid. And just take your time with the shadow and build it up. Then I'm going in with Rowdy, and this shade is like a deep purple, and I'm applying it to the entire lid because I want this to be the base for the shimmery shade I'm going to put on. It's going to help like make it pop even more, and so just apply it everywhere. Don't use a ton of product. Take your time. If you dip in and get a whole bunch, it's just going to fall down onto your cheeks. So really just take a tiny bit and then keep going back and forth, and really build up the purple shade. It's gorgeous. And then I'm going in with the shade Rock Adorn, which is the star of the show. This is a gorgeous bronze color, and I wet my brush with Fix Plus, and then I'm just applying that to the center of the eyelids only. Then I'm going ahead and highlighting my brow bone and inner corner with MAC Nylon. I didn't use any shades from the Subculture palette because the only highlight shade in there is Cube, and that has like a super strong pink reflect, and I didn't want a pink reflect for this look. I wanted it to just be a classic white goldy kind of just like normal inner corner highlight. I didn't want anything crazy for this. Then I'm going in with a mixture of Dawn and Roxy, and I'm taking this all over the lash line from inner corner to outer corner, blowing it out pretty far. And this is the base for the dark shadows we're going to put on our lower lash line next. So just take your time, really just blend it out everywhere. So it's just everything's going to be super smooth and easy to place on top of it. If you don't put down a transition shade first, you might get like patchiness and it might stick randomly and you're not going to have like even pigmentation throughout. Then I'm going in with All Star, which is the burgundy shade, and I'm stamping this into my lower lash line just with a flat definer brush, and I'm going to do that to both sides, of course. And then I'm taking a fluffier brush and blending out that All Star with just a tiny bit more of it on the tip of the brush and just working it back and forth, blending out All Star all across the lower lash line. Then I'm going in with Rowdy, which is the deep purple, and I'm taking that just on the tip of the brush and blending it out back and forth. Really take your time. Sit here and blend out your lower lash line for like a good 3 minutes, just back and forth, back and forth. Make sure your lower lash line and your upper eyelid meet and that there's no space in between the eyeshadow. Then I'm just putting black eyeliner in my waterline and tightline, so that's disgusting to watch, so we'll skip that. Then I'm using Hoola Benefit bronzer, and I'm just bronzing up the skin first. It's this gorgeous, pretty light, just goldeny gorgeous bronze color. I'm obsessed with it, especially with fair skin. Then I'm using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, which is deeper, more red tone. And I'm just placing that literally like an inch right there into the cheekbone, nowhere near as blown out as bronzer. So I'm using this for contour, and I'm just putting a tiny bit on the forehead so all the colors mash together and it's the same shade as the cheeks. Then I'm going to go back and really just work on blending out that contour shade right there. So at first I just place it down, and then I go back in and I blend it super roughly in a circular motion, just like literally only moving my brush a tiny bit from like the top of the hairline to the corner of the eye. You really don't want to blend it out far and down into the cheek, or you're not going to give that super like lifted high cheekbone effect. So just very roughly just blend in there and try to get it to stay super close to the hairline and corner of the eye area. Then I'm using the Narcissist Unfiltered Cheek Palette too, and I'm using that goldeny orange shade. And I'm applying blush to my cheeks. This is a super satin finish blush, and they also aren't overly pigmented, so you don't have to worry about looking like a clown. This is perfect if you have fair skin, but if you have medium or deep skin, it is not going to show up on you. Then I'm just highlighting the bridge of my nose and my cheekbones with Becca Champagne Pop. I don't like to put highlight on the tip of my nose at all. I think it's just distracting, and it's not my favorite look. So I don't put it on the tip of my nose, but you can if you want. I mostly just like it in between the eyes and then a tiny bit onto the bridge of the nose. I think that looks so glowy and gorgeous. Then I put on mascara and Black Magic Lashes by Violet Voss off camera. And then I'm just going in with the Tarteist Quick Dry Matte Lip Paint in the color Bling, which is this beautiful mid-tone rosy color. And that's the finished look. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. And until next time, see you guys then. Bye.